begging
nígbà tó
God.
di ọmọ ọgọ́rùn-ún ọdún
When he
gẹ́rẹ́gẹ́
was 100 years old
àwọn
exactly,
wọn fún ní Isaac
God had given Isaac.
nígbà tó bá Isaac ní Ọlọ́run tán
When he got Isaac from God,
ó ní ayọ̀
he had a great joy
àtẹnu dídùn
and he had happiness.
ṣùgbọ́n kò pẹ́ kò jìnnà
But not too long after
nígbà tí
that,
Isaac bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rìn
when Isaac began to walk
tí ó tójú bọ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀
and he is now becoming of age,
Abraham gbóhùn Ọlọ́run
Abraham heard the voice of God again, saying, Abraham,
ní Genesis orí 20.
Genesis chapter 22.
ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tí ìwọ fẹ́ràn yẹn
That son that you love,
Isaac ní orúkọ yìí jẹ́
Isaac by name,
mo parí mi ní orí òkè Moriah
meet me with him on Mount Moriah.
mo fẹ́ gbóhùn dídùn ní ara
I
rẹ̀
want to perceive a wonderful savor from his body.
ìyẹn ni pé lọ fi rú ẹbọ fún mi
That is God making my sacrifice for me.
ohun tí Ọlọ́run béèrè lọ́wọ́ Abraham
That's what God asked from Abraham.
Abraham rẹ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ Ọlọ́run
And Abraham is a friend of God.
kò tẹ ìyírí Ọlọ́run wò
He doesn't even challenge it.
kò dẹ̀ sọ fún ìyàwó ẹ̀
And never told his wife.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò sọ fún àwọn tó yí ká
And did not tell people around him.
pé ẹgbọ́ ohun tí mo gbọ́ òun
And hear this verse ahead.
ṣé lè rè jẹ́ òun Sátánì sá
Would it not be that of Satan?
torí ọmọ yìí ojú pọ́n akótó pọ́n náà yọ̀ǹda
So
ẹ̀
far the Lord before we could get this child from
kádẹ́
God.
tó bí ọmọ yìí gan
And before this child was born,
èlé ti wà fún
there had been a promise on him.
ọmọ májèmú sí ni
He is a child of covenant also.
ṣùgbọ́n náà ní kí n mọ wọ́n sè
And then God said I should bring him
pé
now.
ká pa á
That I should kill him
ká da iná sùn
and burn him.
òun fẹ́ gbóhùn dídùn
And he want to perceive
ní ara Isaac
from that body of Isaac.
láì mọ̀ pé ìdánwò ni
Knowing that it was a test.
nígbà tí Abraham rẹ̀ gbẹ́rẹ́ ní ọjọ́ kejì
And Abraham took up the second
kò
day.
dábìrì fún ilé
He didn't even tell the house.
ó mú gbogbo nǹkan tí a fi ń ṣe ìrúbọ
He
dání
took everything that is meant for
ó
sacrifice
mú Isaac ọmọ ẹ̀
and also picked Isaac the son
bí ọ̀gbá àgùntàn fún ìrúbọ
as a lamb for the sacrifice.
nígbà tí ó bí orí òkè lọ́hùn
When he got to the mountain over there
tí wọ́n tẹ́ pẹpẹ
and the altar was
òun àti
made,
ọmọ yìí kan sùn náà ni
himself and this boy,
tí ó tẹ́ pẹpẹ
and he laid the
ó
altar.
parí pẹpẹ
He finished laying the
ó na
altar.
ọmọ rẹ̀
He picked the child
bí ọ̀gbá àgùntàn
just like the lamb
tí a fi ṣe ìrúbọ sí
that
Ọlọ́run
is meant for sacrifice.
ó dé
He tied
ó
him
gbé sórí pẹpẹ
and placed him on the
ó
altar
dẹ̀ mú ọ̀bẹ
and picked the knife,
kó gé orí ẹ̀ kó lọ́rùn ẹ̀
cut off the head from his neck.
ni Ọlọ́run ṣe ràn án gẹ́lẹ́
Then God sent an
pé dá
angel
Abraham dúró
that stopped Abraham from that
ó
hour.
ní mọ̀ nísinsìnyí
He now said, "No, now,
pé lóòótọ́
that truly,
ìwọ bẹ̀rù mi
you fear me."
wá sọ̀rọ̀
He now spoke.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ
The word he
ní
spoke
ọ̀rọ̀ agbára
was the word of
ó
power.
ní èmi fúnra mi
Say, "I
ni mo
myself,
fẹ́ràn mi búra
I make myself, I swear
níwọ̀n
by
ìgbà tó o ti lè
myself,
dùn mí ní ọmọ rẹ kan
as
ṣoṣo
long as you do not deny me your own
Isaac tí wọ́n fẹ́ràn
Isaac that you love,
ọmọ ọjọ́ ogbó rẹ
that child of your old
ọmọ
age,
tó fẹ́ kó wà
that child that you sought
tó
with
fẹ́
crying,
àdúrà wà
that you sought with prayer,
tó fẹ́ àwẹ̀ wà
that you sought with
tó
fasting,
wá dé ní ìgbà ogbó
and that it came at your old
tí
age,
ìyàwó rẹ fẹ́ arúgbó ara bí
and your wife also delivered
bó o ṣe lè yọ̀ǹda ọmọ yìí fún mi
If you can release this
ó
son,
ní mo fi ara mi búra
said, I swear
ní
by
bíbùkún fún
myself, in blessings,
èmi á bùkún fún ẹ
I'll bless thee,
ní sísọdí ńlá
in making great,
èmi ó sẹ́dí
I'll
ńlá
make you great.
bí májẹ̀mú ti ń wọnú ayé Abraham ní ọjọ́ yẹn
Covenant entered the life of Abraham.
bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni májẹ̀mú ṣiṣẹ́ fún Isaac
So also covenant work for Isaac.
so ìbéèrè tí Ọlọ́run kọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ Abraham
The
tó lé
first
ní
question that God asked from Abraham, his friend, that is terrible is this:
àsìdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé Abraham ó pàṣẹ ìdánwò ẹ̀
Abraham passed that test.
àṣẹ Ọlọ́run bá yọ̀ǹda ọmọ ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ìrìn
Knowing
ènìyàn
that God is going to release his own son for
ní
the children of
àpẹẹrẹ
man.
ohun tí Abraham àti Isaac jẹ́ sí gbogbo
An
ayé
example of what Abraham and Isaac is to the whole world.
so nígbà tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ fìfẹ́ rẹ̀ sí wa hàn
And when God was about to show his love to
pé
us,
ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi
my people,
mo fẹ́ràn yín
I truly love you.
gbogbo èèyàn tó ń gbé inú ayé
Everyone living on earth,
ìfẹ́ yín ó yàtọ̀
your love is different.
ìfẹ́ tí mo fẹ́ àwọn ẹranko ọ̀tọ̀
The love I had for the animals is
ìfẹ́ mi sí àwọn ẹyẹ ọ̀tọ̀
my love towards the bird is also different.
ìfẹ́ mi sí àwọn ẹja ọ̀tọ̀
My love towards the fish is different.
ìfẹ́ mi sí ohun tó ń rákò lórí ilẹ̀ ayé
Love towards
ọ̀tọ̀
everything that creepeth on the earth is
ṣùgbọ́n fẹ́ ẹ̀yin ènìyàn
but for you
tí mo
the
dá ní àwòrán ara mi
that I made in my own
ìfẹ́ ńlá tí mo fẹ́ yín
the great love I have
ó
for
jẹ́
you
ìfẹ́ tí kò ní ìtorí
is a love that is not conditional.
mo fi wá yọ̀ǹda Jésù
And so you released Jesus.
ṣé wá wo Jésù yìí
Looking at this Jesus
òun pẹ̀lú
himself,
ó fẹ́ràn àwa ènìyàn láyé
not be human beings.
nítorí tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ aráyé tó bẹ́ẹ̀
For God
gẹ́
so loved the
ó
world,
fọmọ bí kò sọ fún wa
give his only begotten
pé
Son,
ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá gbà á gbọ́
whosoever believe in
kí ó
him
má bàa ṣègbé
perish,
ṣùgbọ́n kó bá lè jogún iyè
inherit
tí kò ní pẹ̀kun
an eternal life.
nítorí tí Ọlọ́run ò ní omi ẹ̀sẹ̀ aráyé
For God don't send his son to
láti
the
wá
world
dá aráyé lẹ́jọ́
to judge the
ní
world,
pé ó wá sí ayé ìwáyé Jésù.
It is the coming of Jesus.
Jésù wá ṣe ìdájọ́.
Jesus did not come for judgment.
Jésù wá pa òfin rẹ̀.
Jesus did not come to remove the law.
Jésù wá mú òfin kúrò.
Jesus did not come to take away the law.
Jésù wá ṣe àfikún òfin.
He has not come to add to the law.
Ṣùgbọ́n ó dé láti mú òfin ṣẹ.
But he has come to fulfill the law.
Sì kíyèsí.
Behold.
Nígbà táwọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wo Jésù náà pẹ̀lú.
Jesus truly.
Tá a dé ní ìwé ìrere Jòhánù.
The book of John.
Ẹ ká wo ohun tí orí ìkẹẹ̀dógún sọ.
Let's hear what chapter 15
ẹsẹ̀ ìkẹtàlá.
And verse 13 of that chapter.
Ìrere Jòhánù orí ìkẹẹ̀dógún ẹsẹ̀ ìkẹtàlá.
John chapter 15 verse 13.
Yes, kí ló wí?
Kò sí ẹnìkan tí ó ní ìfẹ́ tí ó tóbi ju èyí lọ.
Kò tí ì sí ẹ̀dá alààyè kan láàárín àwọn tàbí ní obìnrin ní gbogbo àgbáyé tó ní ìfẹ́ bí Jésù.
Pé ẹnìkan fi ẹ̀mí rẹ̀ lélẹ̀ nítorí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀.
Pé èèyàn kan wá fi ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ lélẹ̀ torí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀.
That a man laid down his life for his friends.
Pé èèyàn kan ní ọ̀rẹ́.
That someone is having a friend.
Ọ̀rẹ́ tí ó pọ̀.
And maybe having more than one friends.
Bíi mẹ́wàá láàrin àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn yìí.
But 10 out of these friends.
Bíi mẹ́wàá láàrin wọn.
10 out of these friends.
Ó wá jẹ́ arúfin.
He is now an accused.
Ó jẹ́ ọ̀daràn.
Maybe an accused person.
Ó jẹ́ oníkúpani.
And maybe a murderer.
Ó jẹ́ eléwu ènìyàn.
Or a dangerous person.
Ó jẹ́ ọ̀daràn.
And he is even an accused.
Àwọn láti ṣáàjẹ́ sí court.
And the person was charged to court.
Ó dẹ̀ gba lọ́ọ̀yà.
And the person got a lawyer.
Wọ́n ro ẹjọ́.
And they began the case.
Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn ló jẹ̀bi.
And all these friends are at fault.
Àwọn adáhùn ní ẹjọ́ ikú.
And they were now judged to die.
Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀rẹ́ wọn yìí.
That you these friends.
Fún ìgbésẹ̀ tẹ́ gbé yìí.
Because of this step you took.
Ohun tí òfin wí.
This is what the law
says. Ni pé ẹ ó kú.
That you should die.
Tó pé ìpèrè jẹ́ apààyàn.
Because you have also killed.
Kí ọ̀rẹ́ dẹ̀ wá dìde.
And a friend now rose up.
Lẹ́yìn ìdájọ́.
After the judgment.
Pé my lord.
He said, my lord.
Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọ̀nyí.
All these friends of mine.
Ẹ dá wọn sílẹ̀.
Set them free.
Ẹ kò máa lọ ní òmìnira.
Let them go freely.
Màá gba ikú wọn kú.
I will die in their stead.
Ohun tí a ń sọ nípa Jésù nìyí.
This is what we are talking about Jesus.
Ẹ wo inú ìfẹ́ ńlá.
Look at this kind of.
Aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ yìí.
Incomparable love.
Tí Jésù fẹ́ gbogbo ènìyàn.
That Jesus loved every man.
Ìfẹ́ rẹ̀ sí gbogbo ayé.
His love to the whole world.
Ní ẹni tí ó fẹ́ wá.
He said he that loved.
Ní àfẹ́tán.
Totally.
Ó fi ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ lélẹ̀.
He gave his life.
Ó fi ara ẹ̀ ṣe ètùtù.
He made himself as a sacrifice.
Ó fi ara ẹ̀ ṣe ẹbọ.
He made himself as a sacrifice.
Àrúkọ àti àrúdà.
Once and for all sacrifice.
Number one, ó tẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀.
He shed his blood as the first.
Fún ìmúkúrò ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbogbo ayé.
For the cleansing of the sin
Kò
of
sí ẹ̀dá ara ìkan tó ṣerú ẹ̀ rí.
There's no one that has ever done this before.
Ó dé adé ẹ̀gún.
He wore the crown of.
Láì jẹ́ ọ̀daràn.
Not an accused
person. Fún gbogbo ẹ̀dá ara yìí.
For every living soul.
Tí a ti bí gbà náà.
That has been born by
God. Àti máa bí.
And those that will still be born afterwards.
Kò sẹ́ni tó nílò ìfẹ́ bí eléyìí.
No one had this kind of love.
Ó tẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ fún pàṣán.
He gave himself to be flogged.
Àná ní ẹgbà.
And he was beaten. 39 lashes.
A máa ń na àwọn arúfin ní irú ẹgbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
That kind of cane is for the accused people.
Bí ìdájọ́ àwọn ìjọba Róòmù.
Like the judgment of the Romans there.
Jésù jẹ́ pàṣán.
Jesus was flogged.
Fún àwọn ènìyàn.
For we human beings.
Ìfẹ́ ńlá ni èyí.
Is a great love.
Ṣé wàá rí ìfẹ́ yìí tún tẹ̀síwájú?
And this love continue.
Kò tí ì dó lórí yẹn o.
It has not stopped there.
Ìfẹ́ wa mú kó wá ru àgbélébù.
This love now made him to carry the cross.
Ìfẹ́ ńlá yìí.
This great love.
Ó mú ká tẹ sórí igi àgbélébù.
Made him to be laid on the cross.
A mú ọwọ́ rẹ̀.
In the right hand was
placed. A fi orí igi àgbélébù.
Was placed on the cross.
A kàn án láàyè.
And was nailed alive.
Ẹ wo rí ìfẹ́ ńlá yìí.
Look at that great.
A mú ọwọ́ ìkejì.
The second hand was
taken. A kàn án igi láàyè.
Was nailed to the cross alive.
Ọwọ́ tẹ àkọ́kọ́.
The first hand.
Ó ń tú ẹ̀jẹ̀ jáde.
Was gushing out blood.
Ọwọ́ tẹ ìkejì.
Second hand.
Ó ń tú ẹ̀jẹ̀ jáde.
Began to gush out blood.
Adé orí rẹ̀ tá a pè ní adé ẹ̀gún.
Even the crown on his head which is of.
Òun pẹ̀lú àmàlà fi gba adé ẹ̀gún yẹn wọlé.
That it was the hammer that it was used.
Gbogbo ibi tí ẹ̀gún gbà wọlé.
All those places that.
Ní orí Jésù.
Into the head of Jesus.
Ó ń tú ẹ̀jẹ̀ jáde.
Was also gushing.
Tí a bá wo fíìmù Jésù.
If you look at the
film of Jesus. A rí pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ ló fi wẹ̀.
You see that he was washed by the blood.
Ní ọjọ́ tí a ń kàn mọ́ igi àgbélébùú.
The very day was nailed to the cross.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń jáde ní orí.
Blood was coming out from the
head. Ó bo ojú ẹ̀.
To cover the face.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń jáde ní ọwọ́.
Blood was coming out from the hands.
A tó gbé ẹsẹ̀ méjèèjì.
And the children were.
A tó gbélé orí igi àgbélébùú.
One on the another.
A tó kàn án ní àkàpà.
It was nailed.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń tú jáde.
Blood was gushing out.
Bí omi.
Just like.
Nígbà tí wọ́n á wò ó pé.
When it was now looked at.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ yìí.
This blood.
Nìkan ò tó.
Is not enough.
Àti omi àti ẹ̀jẹ̀.
Both water and blood.
Làwúrọ̀ gbà ní ara Jésù. Ọ̀kan nínú àwọn tó ti yó pátápátá.
One of the drunk.
Láàárín àwọn ọmọ ogun Róòmù.
Among the soldiers.
Ó gbé ọ̀kọ̀ mímú.
A very sharp.
Ó gbé fún Jésù ní ìhà.
And gave him at the side.
Ó wá yí báyìí.
And turn it.
Bí ìgbà tí ẹ̀ bá ro ọkà.
As if one is tearing.
Tàbí tí ẹ̀ bá ro ẹ̀bà.
Solid food.
Ó wá yí báyìí. Ó yí báyìí. Ó yí báyìí. Ó wá tún fà á jáde.
And angrily brought it
bíbélì pé
out.
àti omi àti ẹ̀jẹ̀ sì tú jáde.
Water and blood. God's
ìfẹ́ aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ ni
is
eléyìí.
an incomparable
orí
love.
ìfẹ́ tó jẹ́ kí Jésù jìyà
This is the kind of love that made us to
fún
suffer.
àwọn arúfin
For we that
tó
killed
jìyà
and he suffered.
fún àwọn ọ̀daràn.
For we that were kissed.
ó pẹ̀lú fún ìrìn ènìyàn.
He hungered for us.
ó rìn nítorí ìrìn ènìyàn.
He walked because of us.
àárẹ̀ mú nítorí ìrìn
He
ènìyàn.
suffered because of the generation of man.
ajẹ́niyà nítorí ìrìn
He
ènìyàn.
suffered because of the generation of
apara
man.
nítorí ìrìn
He
ènìyàn.
was injured because of the
aṣàlọ́gbẹ́ nítorí ìrìn
He
ènìyàn.
was bruised because of the
ànàní ẹgbẹ́ nítorí ìrìn
and
ènìyàn.
he was beaten
ó
because of
jìyà
us.
tó pọ̀
He suffered a lot
nítorí ìfẹ́ ńlá
because of the great love.
pé àwọn èèyàn yóò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣègbè.
And these people must not
torí
perish.
pé èṣù ti kó gbogbo ìrìn ènìyàn
The devil has enslaved all men
ní
on
pápá
earth,
mọ́ra.
and has enslaved
ó dẹ̀ ti
us all,
ṣètò wá fún ìgbé
and he has prepared us for
àní ìgbé ayérayé.
eternal destruction.
ṣùgbọ́n ìfẹ́ ńlá Ọlọ́run
But the great love of God
ó mú kí Jésù yọ̀ǹda ara rẹ̀.
made just to release himself.
ta ni èmi ó ràn án?
Who shall I
ta
send?
ni ó lọ fún wa?
Who shall go for
tí
me?
bí àṣà ẹ̀ ti pé èmi nìyí Olúwa rán mi.
Here I am, O Lord.
nígbà tí kẹ́kẹ́ pa ní ọ̀run
When there was silence in heaven,
ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn tá a pa ṣáàjú pélé sí ayé
the lamb that had been killed before the foundation of the world,
Jésù ọmọ Ọlọ́run ọ̀gá ògo
Jesus, the Son of the Most
òun
High,
náà lọ pé èmi nìyí
he said, "Here am
èmi
I.
ó lọ sínú ayé
I will go to the world.
èmi ó ṣe ìdí náà
I will see, I will open a seal,
èmi ó ka ìwé náà
and I will read a book
sí etí Olúwa
to the ear of God
àti sí etí Sátánì
and the ear of Satan,
àti fún ìrìn ènìyàn
and for the generation of
wípé
man,
gbogbo èèyàn ò jẹ̀bi o
that all is not
pé òun ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn Ọlọ́run ti dé
the Lamb of God has arrived
bí
now.
ìwé Jòhánù orí kìíní
Just like the book of John chapter 1,
ẹsẹ̀ 29
verse
ó
29.
ní wò ó ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn Ọlọ́run
Oh, the Lamb of
ẹni
God,
tó kọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ara yìí lọ
who taketh away the sin of the
pé ọ̀dọ́
world.
àgùntàn náà ti dé o
That is, the Lamb has come
láti ṣí ìwé yìí
to open the book,
láti ṣí èdìdí yìí
open the seal,
láti kàn tó ń bẹnu
to read what
rẹ̀
is
ohun tó
there.
yẹn ń bẹ ní ìwé
And what is in the book
òun náà ní ìyà
is suffering,
aago tí ó korò
a bitter cup,
aago tí ó le
a very hard one.
Jésù ló gba aago yẹn
Jesus took the cup
nítorí ìfẹ́ aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ rẹ̀
because of his incomparable
aago
love.
tí ó korò
That bitter cup,
aago tí ó kàn
that cup that is very sour,
aago tó ní agbára
that cup that is very
aago
powerful,
tí ò sí ẹ̀dá rẹ̀ kí ó tàbí inú obìnrin tó lè mú
there is no man on earth that can drink.
aago yìí ni Jésù gbà
That's the cup that Jesus took,
ó ṣe ó gbé aago yẹn
and he took the cup.
ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé kó tó gba aago yìí
Is that before he took the cup,
ó tó gbàdúrà
he has gone to pray ahead.
wọ́n ní omi ara ẹ̀ dàbí ìró
The
ẹ̀jẹ̀
Bible says the water from his
yẹn ni
body
pé
was like
ó ń
drops
sọ
of
pé
blood,
bàbá
saying, Father,
aago yìí
this cup,
tó o bá lè mú aago yìí kúrò
if you can take it or
ṣùgbọ́n ìfẹ́ tẹ̀lé bó
let
ṣe
your will be done.
bàbá
Father,
ní ìgbà kejì
second time,
aago yìí korò
this cup is
aago
bitter,
yìí le
this cup is a hard
aago
one,
yìí ní agbára
this cup is
ohun tó
powerful.
ń bẹ ní aago yìí
What is that the cup?
òun ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbogbo eré ènìyàn
Generation of man.
tó ń bá dẹ̀ ti mú aago yìí
If you could take this cup,
òun náà di
you
ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀
also become a sinner
so
instantly.
àwọn apàwọn bí ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀
So you be killed like a sinner,
òun náà di arúfin
and you become an accused
àwọn
person,
apàwọn náà bí
and you
arúfin
be killed like an accused.
aago tí Jésù ń gbàdúrà sí ni
That's the cup that Jesus was
pé
praying.
táwọn ọmọ aago yìí
That who will drink this cup,
bíbélì yìí pé
the Bible says,
ẹni tí kò mọ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kẹ́ṣẹ̀ rí
he that knew no sin,
ṣùgbọ́n a fi ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀
but was made sin,
kí àwa bá lè di òdodo Ọlọ́run
and we can become righteous.
láì mú aago ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbogbo àgbáyé yìí
Taking the cup of the sin of the whole
kò
world,
sí ìdáríjì fún ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbogbo ayé
forgiveness for the sin of
tukọ̀ àti
the
kọ́
world,
pé
for it has been written,
láì sí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀
without shedding of
kì
blood,
yóò sí ìmúkúrò
there
ẹ̀ṣẹ̀
must be remission of sin.
láì dẹ̀ sí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀
And without the shedding of
kò
blood,
sí omi tí ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ lè fi wẹ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó lè fi
there is
mọ́
no water that a sinner can use to wash himself or herself clean.
tí a bá wo Jòhánù kìíní orí kìíní ẹsẹ̀ ìkẹsàn
Chapter 1,
lẹ́yìn ká tó a lọ wo Jòhánù kìíní orí kejì
First John,
ẹsẹ̀ ìkíní sí ẹsẹ̀ kejì
verse 1 to 2.
ó sọ nípa ẹ̀jẹ̀ Jésù ń bẹ
It's talking about the blood of Jesus.
láì sí ẹ̀jẹ̀ yìí
Without this
kò
blood,
síbi tí ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ti lè wẹ̀
there's no beer a sinner could
tí a
wash,
fi lè pa ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ̀
and his sin could be
ẹ̀jẹ̀ nìkan
forgiven.
ló lè wẹ ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀
Is this blood the one that can wash?
tí ó wẹ inú rẹ̀
And he went
tí ó wẹ òdi ara rẹ̀
and wash him in
tí ó sì mọ́
out, and the person be clean.
yes
Bí àwa bá jẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa,
bí àwọn bá jẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa
olóòótọ́ àti olódodo ni òun,
olóòótọ́ àti olódodo ni òun
láti dárí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jì wá,
láti dárí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jì wá
láti wẹ̀ wá nù,
àti láti wẹ̀ wá nù
kúrò nínú àìṣòdodo wa
tí o
gbogbo.
láì sí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ yìí
Without the shedding of
kò
blood,
sí omi ìwẹ̀ fún ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀
there is no water to wash for a sinner.
àdúrà tí Jésù náà gbà náà ni pé
The prayer of Jesus is,
aago ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ àgbáyé yìí
this cup of the sin of the whole
aago
world,
ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà nìyí
this cup of the sin of the generation of man,
Olúwa mọ̀ yẹ kó ń gba ọ̀nà ibẹ̀
don't
yẹn
let me follow this way.
ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé pété nìyẹn gbàdúrà àdúrà
You know, Peter also prayed the kind of prayer
pé
that,
ó ní àgbẹ̀dọ̀
he said, no,
òun láì má kó wọ inú mi lọ́dún
no unclean thing has ever entered my mouth.
Ọlọ́run ni òun ni wọ́n bá ti yà sí mọ́
And God said, whatever I've said,
ẹnikẹ́ni má pè ní aláìmọ́
let no one call it
dandan ni
unclean.
kí Jésù mú aago ẹ̀ṣẹ̀
It's
gbà
a
yé
must that Jesus drink the sin of the cup of the sin of the
nígbà náà
world.
ni ikú tó kú
then his death
a fi bá ìwé mọ́ mu.
will not be scriptural.
yóò lè jẹ́ ìmúṣẹ ìlérí.
as it will be a fulfillment of
àbí májẹ̀mú Ọlọ́run.
or God's covenant.
so láì mú agbó ẹ̀ṣẹ̀
not taking this cup of
ẹni mímọ́ ni Jésù.
Jesus is a clean
a ò
person.
rí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ nínú rẹ̀.
there was no sin found in him.
gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé ẹ̀
throughout his lifetime.
kò sì dẹ́ṣẹ̀ ọkàn
he
oṣù.
never committed a sin.
alábàjọ́
no wonder
tó fi kó ojú òṣù.
he is worthy
láti kú
to die
fún ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbogbo ayé.
for the sin of the world.
oníwò
he said behold
ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn Ọlọ́run
the lamb
ẹni
of
tó
God
kó ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ aráyé lọ.
that taketh away the
so
sin of the
nípa
world.
ikú rẹ̀
so through his death
nípa ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ta sílẹ̀ ní
through the
Káfárì
blood that is shed on Calvary
nípasẹ̀ ẹni àti lè wẹ̀
through him we could
nínú
wash
ẹ̀jẹ̀ ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn
in the blood of the lamb
fún ìdáríjì ẹ̀ṣẹ̀.
for the
yes
forgiveness of sin.
Jòhánù kìíní orí kejì
First
ẹsẹ̀ kìíní.
chapter 2 verse 1. ẹ̀yin ọmọ mi ìwé kan yìí ni mo kọ sí yín kẹ́ ẹ má bàa dẹ́ṣẹ̀.
Yes.
bí ẹnikẹ́ni bá sì dẹ́ṣẹ̀ àwọn ní alágbàwí lọ́dọ̀ bàbá Jésù Kristi olódodo ó sì ní ètùtù fún ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wa
Yes.
kì í ṣe fún tiwa nìkan mọ̀ fún ti gbogbo
tí
aráyé pẹ̀lú.
gbogbo àgbáyé.
it's for the whole world.
so ikú ètùtù tó kú yẹn
so that death
fún gbogbo àgbáyé ni.
for atonement is for
ẹ̀jẹ̀
the
tó
whole
ta sílẹ̀
world.
yẹn
that blood that was
fún
shed
gbogbo àgbáyé
for the
ni.
whole world.
adéègùn tó dé yẹn
that kind of tongue
fún gbogbo àgbáyé
for the
ni.
whole world.
ọkọ̀ ẹ̀gbẹ́ yẹn
that skin is
fún gbogbo àgbáyé
for
ni.
the whole world.
pàṣẹ tó jẹ
that stripe
fún gbogbo àgbáyé ni.
for the whole world.
gbogbo nǹkan wọn ló ní ìtumọ̀
all these things they have a meaning
tó ní agbára
and they are powerful.
ṣùgbọ́n ní òní yìí
but today
ọbẹ̀ kò mọ̀ pé Jésù
how to
fẹ́ràn
know
rẹ̀.
that Jesus loves you
ohun tó lè ṣe
and what you can
láti
do
mú Jésù dùn
to make Jesus
òní
happy
pé kọ ọ̀rìn ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ sílẹ̀
is to forsake the way of
kó
sin
gba Jésù
and accept Jesus
bí Olúwa
as Lord
àti olùgbàlà
and
rẹ̀.
Savior.
àwọn akọrùkọ sínú
And
ìwé
it
yìí
will be written in the book of life.
ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ sí gbádùn
And you
ìjọba
are
Ọlọ́run
enjoying the kingdom
láti
of
inú ayé
God
yìí
life from this
lọ sí
earth
ayérayé.
to
ẹ
eternity.
jẹ́ ká
Let
gbàdúrà
us pray.
orúkọ Jésù
Àmín.
lónìí ọwọ́ gíga fún ìgbàlá ọkàn ó bá nà jáde
Àmín.
májẹ̀mú jẹ́ òṣèlú náà
Àmín.
Olúwa gbàlà
Àmín.
Olúwa wòsàn
Àmín.
Nàìjíríà yìí pàápàá Olúwa wòsàn
Àmín.
Áfíríkà yìí Olúwa wòsàn
Àmín.
gbogbo ayé ń ṣàìsàn Olúwa wò wá sàn
Àmín.
ògùn fọlọ́n lókè
Hallelujah.
iléeṣẹ́ òkèlè fún wa lọ
Àmín.
láé àti láéláé
Àmín. Àmín. Àmín lórúkọ Jésù.
praise the Lord
Hallelujah.
amen.
Amen.
ọlọ́run ọba ló fi iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ rán ikọ̀ àti ìríjú rẹ̀ wòlíì àgbà Emmanuel ọládipúpọ̀ jayé jésù olùdásílẹ̀ ìjọ CAC Christ Home Assembly báwo ètò wá sí lọ rèé o gbogbo ọjọ́rú Wednesday ní wákàtí ìyanu mẹ́kúà láago 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ bíbélì Bible study láago 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday ìsìn ọjọ́ ìsinmi Sunday service ń wáyé láàrin aago 9 àárọ̀ sí 2 lọ́sàn-án ètò olóṣooṣù wa rèé o àkànṣe ìṣòro fún gbogbo èèyàn láì fi tìjọ ṣe látọjọ́ kìíní sọ́jọ́ keje oṣooṣù ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Friday kẹta lóṣooṣù lètò wákàtí 22 pẹ̀lú olúwa 18 hours with God ń wáyé ètò ọlọ́dọọdún wa ń wáyé lọ́sẹ̀ kẹta nínú oṣù kẹsàn-án fọ́sẹ̀ kan gbáko àwọn ẹ̀ka ìjọ CAC Christ Home Assembly wọ̀nyí o technical college area Òṣogbo ẹ̀yìn New Baptist Chemical Limited ìlú Ọ̀ṣun Iléṣà road Ajégbe area Ìjẹ̀tú olówó òkèrè Òṣogbo àti ẹ̀ka wa tó wà ní Òkè Ìyìn street Iléṣà ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa léyìíkéyìí ẹ̀ka wa Jésù yóò fọwọ́ agbára rẹ̀ ṣe ìyanu láyé rẹ̀ fẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ìmọ̀ràn àti ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà ẹ tẹ bàbá wa nínú Olúwa wòlíì ìdáyé Jésù lágbo lórí nọ́mbà yìí
08063579190 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 08063579190.
ọlọ́run àpọ́sù Joseph Ayọ̀ Babalọ́lá kò dáwọ́ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ dúró nínú ìjọ CAC Orísun Ayọ̀ district headquarters Ajéwọlé zone opposite technical college Tinúmọ́lá street beside BJ Dinners Òṣogbo Ọ̀ṣun state báwọn ètò wa ṣe lọ rèé o ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday English service wa ń wáyé láago 7 sí 9 àárọ̀ ìsìn Yorùbá láago 9 àárọ̀ sí 2 lọ́sàn-án ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Monday ẹ̀kọ́ bíbélì àti ẹ̀ka àárọ̀ Jésù láago 5 sí 2 àárọ̀ àkànṣe ètò fáwọn aláboyún àtàwọn tó ń wojú Olúwa lọ́jọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 9 àárọ̀ sí 2 lọ́sàn-án ọjọ́rú Wednesday ní wákàtí ìṣelógo hour of glorification láago 5 àárọ̀ sí 7 àárọ̀ ìṣòro ń wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Friday láago 12 alẹ́ sí 3 òru cross over prayer lọ́sẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ lóṣooṣù Holy Ghost and anointing service ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday àkọ́kọ́ 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. gbogbo Sunday àkọ́kọ́ lóṣooṣù ń làṣálẹ̀ ọpẹ́ látàgò 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 4 p.m. fún ìmọ̀ràn àti ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà ẹ pè Pastor Z.O. Agẹmọ sórí nọ́mbà yìí 0806-73-957-50 ní CAC Orísun Ayọ̀ Jésù Kristi lórísun ayọ̀ wa.
ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàdúrà orúkọ Jésù Ọlọ́run wa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ ṣé Olúwa gba ọpẹ́ wa lórúkọ Jésù Olúwa wa àmín. mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run lónìí mo mú àyọkà mi nínú ìwé Hébérù orí 12 ẹsẹ̀ 15 kíyèsí ẹ má ṣe kọ ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀ nítorí bí àwọn wọn ni kò bá bọ́ nígbà tí wọ́n kọ ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀ lé ayé mélòó mélòó lé àwa kì yóò bọ́ àwa tí ó pẹ̀yìndà sí ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀ láti ọ̀run wá. ògo ni fún Ọlọ́run lókè ọ̀run lónìí arán mi sí gbogbo àwọn olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run yìí wípé kí a má ṣe kọ ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀. Nígbà ayé Nóà, àwọn ènìyàn ìgbà náà ṣàìgbọràn sí ìpè àtọ̀run wá, gbogbo wọn ló ṣègbé pátápátá nítorí pé wọ́n kọ ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀. Ní orílẹ̀-èdè Sódómù àti Gòmárà, àwọn náà kọ̀ láti yí padà, bí ó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ránṣẹ́ sí wọn, Ọlọ́run kì wọ́n nílọ̀, wọ́n parun pátápátá nínú iná àjónirun nítorí pé wọ́n kọ ẹni tí ń kìlọ̀. Wọ́n kọ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, wọ́n sì kọ ìmọ̀ràn rẹ̀. Lónìí bí a bá wo ohun gbogbo tó ń lọ nínú ayé, ó ṣe ni láàánú wípé ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run kò jọ àwọn ènìyàn lójú, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń pọ̀ sí, àwọn aṣebi ń pọ̀ sí. Ẹ wò bí àwùjọ wa ṣe kún fún ìwà ìkà, ìrẹ́nijẹ, ìpànìyàn, ìdígunjalè, ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ní gbogbo ọ̀nà Ọlọ́run kìlọ̀, ó ń lo àwọn ènìyàn Ọlọ́run, ó ń lo àwọn onídàájọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ láti kìlọ̀ ìwà, láti rán wa létí pé òpin ń bọ̀, a sì ń láti yí padà. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run lónìí, ẹ jẹ́ ká yí padà. Ìwọ tó ti pẹ̀yìndà, ìwọ aṣebi, ìwọ aṣáko, àwa ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run tí iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ wa ti gbọ́ jẹ̀gẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ á yí padà ká ṣe àtúnṣe, nítorí pé àwọn tí ìgbàanì kò gbọ́ nígbà tí wọ́n kọ ẹni tó ń kìlọ̀. Bí àwa náà kò bá yí padà lónìí, ó léwu. Bíbélì wípé nítorí Ọlọ́run wá iná àjónirun ni. Nítorí náà a kò gbúdọ̀ fi ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ṣàwàdà tàbí ká kọ etí ikún bí ẹni pé kò sí nǹkan kan. Ìdájọ́ Ọlọ́run ń bọ̀. Ó ń kìlọ̀ fún gbogbo ènìyàn láyé láti yí padà nítorí ọjọ́ ìdájọ́, ọjọ́ ìbẹ̀wò ńlá èyí tí yóò bẹ̀ gbogbo ayé wò. Ó ń kìlọ̀ fún ọ lónìí, yí padà kúrò nínú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ, yóò sì dára fún ọ bí o bá lè ṣe èyí lórúkọ Jésù. Ọlọ́run gbogbo ayé ẹ ṣe lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ògo ni forúkọ rẹ, lórúkọ Jésù Olúwa wa, àmín.
Ọlọ́run àpọ́sù Joseph Ayọ̀ Babalọ́lá kò dáwọ́ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ dúró nínú ìjọ CAC Orísun Ayọ̀ District Headquarters Ajéwọlé Zone opposite Technical College Tinúmọ́lá Street beside BJ Dinners Òṣogbo Ọ̀ṣun State. Báwọn ètò wa ṣe lọ rèé o. Ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday English service wa ń wáyé láago 7 sí 9 àárọ̀, ìsìn Yorùbá láago 9 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán. Ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Monday ẹ̀kọ́ Bíbélì àti ẹ̀ka àárọ̀ Jésù láago 5 sí 7 àárọ̀. Àkànṣe ètò fáwọn aláboyún àtàwọn tó ń wojú Olúwa lọ́jọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 9 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán. Ọjọ́rú Wednesday ní wákàtí ìṣelógo hour of glorification láago 5 àárọ̀ sí 7 àárọ̀. Ìsóòru ń wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Friday láago 12 alẹ́ sí 3 òru. cross over prayer lọ́sẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ lóṣooṣù. Holy Ghost and anointing service ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday àkọ́kọ́ 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Gbogbo Sunday àkọ́kọ́ lóṣooṣù ń làṣálẹ̀ ọpẹ́ látàgò 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ 4 p.m. Fún ìmọ̀ràn àti ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà ẹ pè Pastor Z.O. Agẹmọ sórí nọ́mbà yìí 0806-73-957-50 ní CAC Orísun Ayọ̀ Jésù Kristi lórísun ayọ̀ wa.
tó ohun tí à ń ṣe nínú ìjọ wa òun náà ni ó ṣẹ́kù.
ọ̀rẹ́ wa má dàrú kiri mọ́ òun ìjọ CAC òkè àánú àlàáfíà zone 5 owó díẹ̀díẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run aláàánú ti ń ṣàánú fáwọn tó ń fi àánú Olúwa báyìí pásítọ̀ Matthew Adépọ̀jù àtàwọn ẹni àmì òwúrọ̀ Ọlọ́run mi ní Jésù ló ń bẹ́ òbí ètò olùjọ wa ṣe lọ rèé gbogbo ọjọ́ ajé Monday lòwúrọ̀ àánú láago 5 sí 6 kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 15 àárọ̀.
ọjọ́bọ̀ Thursday ẹ̀kọ́ Bíbélì Bible study láago 5 sí 9 ọ̀pọ̀ ìrọ̀lẹ́.
gbogbo ọjọ́ Friday ní sóòru àpapọ̀ láago 12 òru sí 3 òru. gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday ní sí ológun máa ń wáyé láago 8 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán.
Monday kejì lóṣooṣù làṣálẹ̀ agbára fọ́jọ́ 7 gbáko láago 6 ìrọ̀lẹ́ sí 9 alẹ́.
àwọn ètò orí òkè wa CAC orí òkè àánú baradé jù wọ́n owó díẹ̀díẹ̀ rèé o. ìsóòru àlùyọ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 12 òru sí 2 òru. ọjọ́rú Wednesday nípàdé àdúrà àánú àtòkè wá láago 9 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán.
Friday àkọ́kọ́ lóṣooṣù ní sọ́ọ̀rù gbogbogbò láago 12 òru ilẹ̀ mọ́ kedere. ètò ẹ̀kan lọ́sẹ̀ta kẹta wáyé lọ́jọ́rú Wednesday kejì lóṣooṣù tààrọ̀ tọ̀sán talẹ́ ni o.
ẹ pè bàbá orí òkè àánú owó díẹ̀díẹ̀ Pastor Matthew Adépọ̀jù sórí nọ́mbà wọ̀nyí 08038563459 tàbí 08074172521. bàbá sọmídìínà jésù sọmídìínà sọmídìínà ò máa ta mi lọ́wọ́ bàbá sọmídìínà. ẹni tó bá ní òsì wòlíì òtítọ́ láyé mọ́ káàsà ara rẹ̀ ló ń tàn àwọn wòlíì bíi ti gbani tí nàdúrà àtàgbára jésù ń jò gẹ́gẹ́rẹ́ nù wọn sì pọ̀ lọ́jà ara lókè pẹ́ o gbogbo ẹni ayé jẹ́ńjà tẹ̀sùn ń pọ́n lójú ẹgbẹ́ sòro yín tọ́ jésù arógun má ti di wá torí òkè ìyanu sọmídìínà tó wà lópòpónà ìyálóde nílùú ẹ̀rípa nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀ṣun níbi tọ́lọ́run ọba ti ń lo ìránṣẹ́ rẹ̀ wòlíì ayọ̀ akínlọ́tọ́ bàbá sọmídìínà níbi àkànṣe ètò àdúrà tó máa ń wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú wednesday láàrin aago 9 àárọ̀ sago 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ gbogbo arógbòbògò jẹ́ tí wọ́n jókòó lérí ayé rẹ mọ́lẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run wòlíì ayọ̀ akínlọ́tọ́ bàbá sọmídìínà ló ń finá síndì tó sì wọnú ògo rẹ lọ ọjọ́rú wednesday ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni ó yá lórí òkè ìyanu sọmídìínà ìyálóde street ẹ̀rípa ẹ pè bàbá sọmídìínà sórí nọ́mbà yìí 08033819903 tàbí 0050531777 ọlọ́run ayọ̀ akínlọ́tọ́ wá sọmídìínà o.
tí ẹ̀yin náà bá ń ṣe nínú ìjọ yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ ó ṣe pàtàkì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìrere ni Jésù Olúwa ẹ lọ sí gbogbo ayé ẹ kéde ọ̀rọ̀ náà àkókò láti kéde ọ̀rọ̀ náà láti kí lẹ́yìn kan tó ń ṣe nínú ìjọ yìí ṣé ẹ̀yin ṣe sọ́jí ni ṣé ẹ̀ ń ṣàjọ̀dún ni ẹ máa bọ̀ lórí ètò yìí adúpẹ́ oore ọ̀fẹ́ wípé Ọlọ́run fún ara rẹ̀ ló gbé kalẹ̀ ká tó sì fi ìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ láti mú kí ìrere kó máa tẹ̀síwájú ní báyìí ká máa lọ sí
ọ̀nà ní Christ the hope of our nation evangelical ministry Reverend Olúwasanmi.
sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ dayọ̀. ẹ wá olúwa nígbà tí ẹ lè rí ẹ pè nígbà tó wà nítòsí ọlọ́run oníṣẹ́ ìyanu ọ̀dáwọ́ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ dúró nínú ìjọ Christ the hope of our nation evangelical ministry aka Christ hope of all nations church #1 olúwasanmi crescent lake 264 area power line òṣogbo báwo ètò wa ṣe lọ rèé o bible study ẹ̀kọ́ bíbélì lọ́jọ́ ìṣẹ́gun tuesday láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́ ìsìn ọjọ́ ìsinmi ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ látàgò 8 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán friday ní sóòru wákàtí ìtúsílẹ̀ àti wákàtí ìrètí láwọ̀nùbọ̀nù aago 12 sí 4 òru ńlọ̀sẹ̀ tó bá kan wákàtí ìtúsílẹ̀ nígbà tí ti wákàtí ìrètí sì jẹ́ aago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́ àdúrà ìpìlẹ̀ ní monday kínní sí wednesday lóṣooṣù láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́ ìpàdé àdúrà fáwọn obìnrin àtọmọdé ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú wednesday kejì lóṣooṣù láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́ ọjọ́rú wednesday kẹta lóṣooṣù nípàdé àdúrà àwọn ọkùnrin láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́ friday tó bá gbẹ̀yìn oṣù làdúrà àtàwé alágbàyípo marathon prayer and fasting látàgò 9 àárọ̀ friday sí 5 ìdájí sátidé ìsọjí ìta gbangba lóṣù kẹta lóṣù kẹta oṣù kẹfà oṣù kẹsàn-án àtòṣù kejìlá nígbà tí ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìdílé aláyọ̀ yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ 26 oṣù kejìlá reverend and reverend mrs ma olúwasanmi the general overseer.
ẹ jẹ́ ká gbàdúrà orúkọ jésù lórí wa ògo ni forúkọ mímọ́ ẹgbọ́pọ̀ wa ẹgbà yín wa ẹ tó rán wa jáde bàbá ẹlùwà gbogbo olùgbọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá ẹlùwà láì ṣe agbára láì ṣe ìyá láì ṣe ìwòsàn láì ṣe ìgbàlà láti ṣe ìmúdó láì ṣe ìsọdi mímọ́ bàbá ẹlùwà ẹgbà ògbógo àódùpẹ́ ògo ni forúkọ mímọ́ lóògbé káwọ̀ ìjọba ọlọ́run ògo ni forúkọ mímọ́ jésù olùgbàlà wa ní ìjẹ́jọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ìdùnnú tí bàbá rán sí gbogbo olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà ni Jésù ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì láì ti sọ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ inú àwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tí Jésù bá yọ láwọ̀ sánmà ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ni pé gbogbo àwọn òkú nínú Jésù Kristi ló kọjú ní àkàndéédé rí pé ojú ọ̀run kọ̀ọ̀kan fún gbogbo oríṣiríṣi àwọn ènìyàn ní oríṣiríṣi gbogbo àwọn ilé ìtẹ́ òkú sí àmì ilẹ̀ ìsìnkú gbogbo ibẹ̀ àkàndéédé gbogbo àwọn èèyàn kan jáde láti bẹ̀ ní kan lọ pàdé Olúwa ní àwọ̀sánmà kó gbàdúrà gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé àwa náà nígbà tí àkókò bá tó a ò nípa àti pé bákan náà a ò ní kù sẹ́yìn orúkọ Jésù à ní kù sẹ́yìn lónìí à ń tẹ̀síwájú ní ọ̀rọ̀ kan náà pé Jésù padà bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì o Jésù padà bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì o àwọn nǹkan tí ó rọ̀ mọ́ ìpadàbọ̀ Jésù lẹ́ẹ̀kejì àti àwọn náà là ń yànnà náà àdẹ̀fẹ́ ká mọ̀ dáadáa Jésù Kristi nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ fún ara rẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ ká ti múra sílẹ̀ kí Jésù gbẹ̀ngà tó gbà sókè lójijì ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bá àwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn rẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ wípé ẹ kíyèsára o nítorí pé òun tó padà wá nínú ìwé Mátíù orí 24 ẹsẹ̀ 42 sí 50 ẹ bá mi kà á yes ma.
nítorí náà ẹ máa ṣọ́nà nítorí ẹ̀yin kò mọ wákàtí tí olúwa yín yóò dé ṣùgbọ́n kí ẹ̀yin kí ó mọ èyí pé baálé ilé ìbámu wákàtí náà tí olè yóò wá ìbá máa ṣọ́nà òun kì bá ti jẹ́ kí á múlẹ̀ ilé rẹ̀ nítorí náà kí ẹ̀yin kí ó múra sílẹ̀ nítorí ní wákàtí tí ẹ̀yin kò rò tẹ́lẹ̀ ni ọmọ ènìyàn yóò dé. Ta ní í ṣe olóòótọ́ àti ọlọ́gbọ́n ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tí olúwa rẹ̀ fi ṣe olórí ilé rẹ̀ láti fi oúnjẹ wọn fún wọn ní àkókò. Alábùkún fún ni ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ náà nígbà tí olúwa rẹ̀ bá dé ẹni tí yóò bá kí ó máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Lóòótọ́ ni mo wí fún yín òun ò fi ṣe olórí gbogbo ohun tí ó ní. Ṣùgbọ́n bí ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ búburú náà bá wà ní ọkàn rẹ̀ pé olúwa mi fà àbọ̀ rẹ̀ sẹ́yìn tí ó sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ìlú àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ẹlẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ àti sí jẹ àti sí ìmu pẹ̀lú àwọn ọ̀mùtí, olúwa ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ náà yóò dé ní ọjọ́ tí kò retí àti ní wákàtí tí kò dábàá.
ohun tí gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n kà síbẹ̀ yẹn tí wọ́n kà fún wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ohun tó ń sọ náà ni pé ìgbàkúgbà tá a retí tá a fọkàn sí a lè sọ pé ọdún tó ń bọ̀ kó jẹ́ ọ̀la ó lè jọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ a lè sọ pé ọ̀la ni kó jẹ́ wákàtí kan síbi tí a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tá a ti ń gbọ́rọ̀ ọlọ́run náà ni Jésù adé ti yọ láwọ̀ sánmà. Ohun tí ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́run sọ náà ni pé gbogbo àwa tó ti gba Jésù ní wúlá tó ló gbala ká má gbé ìgbé ayé ìjáfara ká má gbé ìgbé ayé ìṣẹ́ngbọ̀ngbà tá a ti gba Jésù ní wúlá tó ló gbala tá a ti rìn nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ká má padà sẹ́yìn ká má sun èjìká ká má tó gbé ká má sun èjìká bíi ti àwọn wúndíá mẹ́wàá ká má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó ń sọ fún wa náà ni pé ìgbàkúgbà ni olúwa wa lè yọ láwọ̀ sánmà ìgbà tá a retí láìpẹ́ náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́run sì pé ó Jésù ní láìpẹ́ ni o tó ń bá lọ Jésù ò tí ì lọ tó ti ń sọ pé láìpẹ́ àwa olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìgbàkúgbà àwa kó lómi ayé wa Jésù lọ ọ̀bá tí yọ láwọ̀ sánmà àwọn èèyàn ń kú lójoojúmọ́ àwọn èèyàn ń lọ ayé rí gbogbo Jésù ní olúwa tó gbàlà rẹ̀ sọ́dà tí ó bá máa yọ láwọ̀ sánmà ká lè jíwọ́ náà kó wọ́n di pé ó sùn síbẹ̀ títí tá a fi jí ọ láti wá fún ìdájọ́ èyí tó fi wá kú ikú ẹ̀kejì èyí kì í ṣe ìfẹ́ ọlọ́run sí ẹnikẹ́ni. Mo sì gbàdúrà lórúkọ Jésù oore ọ̀fẹ́ bí a fi ní ẹ̀mí ìkíyèsára àtúlùsọ àtàwa tó ń sọ àtàwa tó ń gbọ́ tí a fi lè múra sílẹ̀ ní ìpadàbọ̀ Jésù lẹ́ẹ̀kejì bàbá kó wá fi fún wa ọlọ́run mi yóò fi fún wa nínú ìfihàn orí 14 ìwé ìfẹ́ orí 14 ẹsẹ̀ ìkẹjọ yẹn sí ìkọkànlá ẹgbẹ́ bá mi dá yẹn.
Áńgẹ́lì mìíràn sì tẹ̀lé ó wí pé Bábílónì wó Bábílónì tí ó tóbi ní wó èyí tí ó ti ń mú gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè mu nínú ọtí wáìnì ìbínú àgbèrè rẹ̀. Áńgẹ́lì kẹta sì tẹ̀lé wọn ó wí ní ohùn rárá pé bí ẹnikẹ́ni bá ń foríbalẹ̀ fún ẹranko nì àti àwòrán rẹ̀ tí ó sì gba àmì sí iwájú rẹ̀ tàbí sí ọwọ́ rẹ̀ òun pẹ̀lú yóò mu nínú ọtí wáìnì ìbínú ọlọ́run tí a tú jáde lé àìní àbùlà sínú ago ìrunú rẹ̀. A ó sì fi iná àti sọ́fùrù dá a lóró níwájú àwọn áńgẹ́lì mímọ́ àti níwájú ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn. Èéfín oró wọn sì ń lọ sókè títí láéláé wọn kò sì ní ìsinmi ní ọ̀sán àti ní òru. Àwọn tí ń forí balẹ̀ fún ẹranko náà àti fún àwòrán rẹ̀ àti ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó bá sì gba àmì orúkọ rẹ̀.
God bless you man. tá à ń sọ náà ni pé gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè gbogbo ènìyàn gbogbo ọ̀làjú gbogbo ohun tí ẹnikẹ́ni jẹ́ nìsín nígbà tí Jésù bá ti yọ láwọ̀ sánmà takọ àyànfẹ́ lọ gbogbo ẹ̀ làwọn ló parun gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa parun gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́lọ́run kàkúrò gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa parun tọrọ lọ́n sọ náà nìyẹn àtàngẹ́lì o àti orílẹ̀-èdè. a pè ní Bábílónì nítorí pé àwọn Bábílónì jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè nígbà náà tó ṣe àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè yòókù tó ṣe wọn lọ́nà láti gbé kán máa ṣe lòdì sí Ọlọ́run kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sin Sátánì kán máa so ohun tí à ń sọ náà ni pé àǹfààní wà fún wa ní àkókò yìí kí Jésù olùgbàlà tó láwọ̀ sánmà wípé ẹ jẹ́ kí aronúkú wa dà ẹ jẹ́ ká gba Jésù olùgbàlà tó olùgbàlà ìwé ìfihàn orí 14 ẹ bá mi ká ẹsẹ̀ kejìlá sí 14 yẹn.
kí ni sùúrù àwọn ènìyàn mi wọ́n gbé wà àwọn tí ń pa òfin Ọlọ́run àti ìgbàgbọ́ Jésù mọ́ mo sì gbọ́ ohùn kan láti ọ̀run wá ń wí fún mi pé òwe rẹ̀ alábùkún fún ni àwọn òkú tí ó kú nípa ti Olúwa láti ìyìn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀mí wí kí wọn kí ó lè sinmi kúrò nínú làálàá wọn nítorí iṣẹ́ wọn ń tọ̀ wọ́n lẹ́yìn.
bá a sọ náà ni pé gbogbo olùgbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ní àkókò iṣẹ́ wa ń tẹ̀ wá lẹ́yìn bàbá ṣe gbígbà ayé wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí kìrìsìtẹ́nì bàbá gbígba ayé wa náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí tó gba Jésù iṣẹ́ wa tó wà lẹ́yìn gbogbo ẹ̀ náà láti dálẹ́jọ́ níkẹyìn òun ọ̀fẹ́ tá fi gba Jésù ní àkókò yìí tí ó fi dára fún wa tá fi wọ ìjọba Ọlọ́run pàpọ̀ àfihàn orúkọ Jésù àti ọ̀rọ̀ jáde kó iṣẹ́ agbára kó iṣẹ́ ìyanu nípasẹ̀ rẹ̀ kárí ẹni yíyẹ o gbọdọ̀ forúkọ mímọ́ yín Jésù Olúwa tó lùgbàlà wa.
àmín lórúkọ Jésù.
ẹ wá Olúwa nígbà tí ẹ lè rí ẹ pè nígbà tó wà nítòsí Ọlọ́run oníṣẹ́ ìyanu ọ̀dáwọ́ iṣẹ́ ìyanu rẹ̀ dúró nínú ìjọ Christ the Hope of our Nation Evangelical Ministry aka Christ Hope of All Nations Church #1 Olúwasanmi Crescent Lake 264 area Powerline Òṣogbo. báwo ètò wa ṣe lọ rèé o Bible study ẹ̀kọ́ Bíbélì lọ́jọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́. ìsìn ọjọ́ ìsinmi ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago 8 àárọ̀ sí 12 ọ̀sán. Friday ní sóòru wákàtí ìtúsílẹ̀ àti wákàtí ìrètí láwọ̀nùbọ̀nù. aago 12 sí 4 òru ńlọ̀sẹ̀ tó bá kan wákàtí ìtúsílẹ̀ nígbà tí ti wákàtí ìrètí sì jẹ́ aago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́. àdúrà ìpìlẹ̀ ní Monday kínní sí Wednesday lóṣooṣù láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́. ìpàdé àdúrà fáwọn obìnrin àtọmọdé ní gbogbo ọjọ́rú Wednesday kejì lóṣooṣù láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́. ọjọ́rú Wednesday kẹta lóṣooṣù nípàdé àdúrà àwọn ọkùnrin láago 6 sí 7 àbọ̀ alẹ́. Friday tó bá gbẹ̀yìn oṣù làdúrà àtàwé alágbàyípo marathon prayer and fasting látago 9 àárọ̀ Friday sí 5 ìdájí sátidé. ìsọjí ìta gbangba lóṣù kẹta lóṣù kẹta oṣù kẹfà oṣù kẹsàn-án àtòṣù kejìlá. nígbà tí ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìdílé aláyọ̀ yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ 26 oṣù kejìlá. Reverend and Reverend Mrs. M.A. Olúwasanmi the General Overseer.
a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba tó ń gbogbo àṣeyọrí lọ́dọ̀.
Ọlọ́run ẹ ṣé o.
gòkè lórí ètò lónìí Ọlọ́run gbà gbogbo sọ́dọ̀ ara rẹ̀.
adúpẹ́ o.
ògo ni forúkọ Olúwa.
ògo ni fọ́lọ́run lókè ọ̀run. nǹkan tí ètò yìí tí ó wà fún tí ó sì dúró fún òun náà ni ìfẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run fẹ́ wa. ó fẹ́ wa tó bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́ tó fi Jésù Olúwa fún wa ká má bàa ṣègbé ṣùgbọ́n ká lè ní ìyè tí kò ní pẹ̀kun. káwa náà wá kíyèsí pé Ọlọ́run tó fẹ́ wa yìí a ní bólórin gan bá kọ́ a ní ẹni tá a fẹ́ tí ò fẹ́ ni àárí pókù díẹ̀ káàtó tó bọ́lọ́run ṣe fẹ́ wa káwa náà yà fẹ́ Ọlọ́run ọ̀nà wo la fi lè gbà ọ̀nà tá a fi lè fi hàn òun náà ní pé ká gba Jésù ní Olúwa àti olùgbàlà wa. Jésù sì ń sọ fún wa wípé ètò ṣe pàtàkì jù nínú òfin òun ni ká fi gbogbo ọkàn wa gbogbo àyà wa gbogbo agbára wa ká fi fẹ́ Olúwa Ọlọ́run wa ká wá kíyèsí ká fẹ́ràn ara wa. ẹni tó bá jẹ́ wípé ó mọ̀ ní pàtàkì pé òun ò mọ̀ dá wà sísùn jíjí kì í mọ̀ ṣe pa àtàgbára kì í mọ̀ sọgbọ́n orí lílọ rí bíbọ̀ rí àánú mọ̀ ní gbogbo nǹkan tá a máa ń ṣe èmi mo dá báyìí èmi mo rí báyìí èmi mo lówó báyìí èmi mo jọ̀gá báyìí èmi mo àánú ńlá ní ipá òsì agbára òsè káyà mọ Ọlọ́run yìí ní tòótọ́ tó ṣàánú wa ká máa bu ọlá fún ká máa fìyìn fún ká máa fi ògo fún ká wá fẹ́ràn ọmọnìkejì gẹ́gẹ́ bí ara wa bóò láti lè fẹ́ràn ọmọnìkejì ká rí wípé à ń ṣe ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run lára ọmọnìkejì wa pé a ò ṣe ibi a ò sì ṣe ká oore ọ̀fẹ́ tá a fi lè ṣèfẹ́ Ọlọ́run yóò fi fún wa tí yóò di ọ̀sẹ̀ tí bọ́ta a máa pàdé lórí ètò ìfẹ́ tòótọ́ tó kọ́ ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ọ̀run ayé tó fún wa lórí ọ̀fẹ́.
kí sí olùgbàlà àti tí a fi ṣe olóòtú pẹ̀lú lórí ètò yìí Kẹ́hìndé ọmọdé wọ̀nyí.
mo tún ayàṣàlà ọ̀nà lèmi jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹni kẹta wa Kẹ́hìndé Adébádé tó nípa àánú Ọlọ́run ní ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ a tún máa pàdé.
títí dọ̀sẹ̀ náà eré o.
You're listening to the for the 5 megahertz.
Just like water, we are the indispensable companion.
alágbó ṣiṣẹ́ o stop living fake life òróró no be cool dog pussycat no be tiger monkey àtọ̀ sí chimpanzee wákì o water no be for monkey o ìwọ náà fẹ́ ṣe big boss wájà ń ṣe bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ o wákì o ọ̀rẹ́ mi tẹpá mọ́ṣẹ́ o wákì o wájà kó tún fíjọ́ ọ̀bọ̀dé o wákì o ọ̀rẹ́ mi múra sí iṣẹ́ o wákì o wájà kó tún fíjọ́ ọ̀bọ̀dé o wákì o.
The key to growth is definitely the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. You're live on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of the West, Nigeria, and you're listening to My Work, My Pride. I am your host, Mudugwere Oladile. My Work, My Pride is a program that enables us to explore different professions, reasons for choosing them, ways to take pride in them, and how you can leverage your expertise to do even better in the field that you have chosen. Let's go on a short musical break, and when I return, I'll be educating us on the teaching profession. Don't go anywhere. If you're just tuning in, thank you very much. You're listening to My Work, My Pride on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of the West, Oshogbo, Nigeria. As I earlier said, we'll be discussing about the teaching profession today. You know, there's a saying that says, wherever you find something extraordinary, you will find the fingerprints of a great teacher. The first thing that you must know about the teaching profession is that teaching is about inspiring and motivating students to realize and exceed their potential in life. The greatest teachers of all time have devoted their lives to inspiring and empowering their students to achieve great things and to be good human beings. Teaching is just not a job, it is a noble service. A teacher is always looked up to as a guide. Teaching will become meaningful when it is done with love and affection. It is a commitment to human life. It is a way of life that requires a whole lot of sacrifices. It is a ministry. Yes, teaching is a ministry that needs your all-out service. It's not about just teaching in the four walls of a classroom only. Teaching is a ministry. Measured in terms of its numbers, teaching is the world's largest profession. In the 21st century, it was estimated that there were about 80 million teachers throughout the world, though their roles and functions varies from country to country. Now let's go right into what the key roles of a teacher should be. Number 1, providing mentorship, inspiring learners, nurturing healthy curiosity in learners, creating meaningful learning experiences, leveraging tech to support learning, researching learning strategies, and a lot more. The primary role of a teacher has not changed over time. Teachers still guide learners towards new information each day. But if you think of teaching as a profession more than a trade, you begin to appreciate the complexity of a teacher's job. You know, today, a teacher's responsibility really goes beyond expecting students to follow as they lead. A strategy that has been used for centuries, teachers then expect that students should follow as they lead, but it is not done like that now again. Now, teachers are expected to offer rich, unique, and tailored learning experiences to their students, rather than wanting the students to follow them as they lead. Now, teachers are expected to offer unique and very vital learning experiences to their students. Learning is no longer confined to the classroom setting. I said teaching as a profession goes beyond the four walls of a classroom. So teaching and learning is no longer confined to the classroom setting anymore. It could take place at home, in the community, and in the digital and physical world at large. Do not think that teaching only encompasses, the four walls of a classroom only. It goes way beyond that. Remember those classes where your teachers will share stories with you, explain with teachers, but they are also your mentors. I want us to take note of this. Teachers are our mentors. They are the ones who inspire students, not just by teaching a subject, but by sharing a bond, by exchanging thoughts, and by building upon them. It's not just about teaching only, but teachers ensure to, build up a bond. They ensure to build relationships with their students, and by that they get to exchange thoughts and and they have a really good relationship. If this is what you want to reflect in your teaching career as well, then a teaching career would just be the perfect profession for you to look into. Now, to pursue a career in teaching, you must be aware of both the rewards as well as the challenges. Teaching career gives you the chance to inspire and empower bright young minds and to build a better tomorrow. I mean, that's a whole lot already. Teaching is one profession that we cannot but, give accolades to, because everybody learns every day and we get taught by somebody. Teachers get to impact their knowledge in their students, and that's a whole lot of sacrifice on its own. Imagine the knowledge that you have, you're impacting it in a lot more others. That's a very good thing for you to do as a teacher. That way, your students will never really forget you at all. However, before you decide to become a teacher, it could be a good idea to assess your personality, interest, and aptitudes to be sure of yourself. I like to believe that a lot of people would want to go into the teaching profession, but they do not really assess themselves properly. So it is very necessary for you to, take note of your personality, your interest. Do I really like this thing? Do I have the passion for it? Because you really have to have the passion to be a teacher, because like I said, teaching is a noble service. It is a ministry. You cannot just say, I want to be a teacher for the fun of it. You have to be sure that you are ready and overly ready to make a lot of sacrifices for the people that you are, wanting to impact your knowledge to. So it is very necessary for you to assess your personality traits, for you to know your interests, for you to know your likes and dislikes about the profession, for you to know your aptitude in order to be sure of yourself. You may take the help of an expert if you don't know how to go about it. But right here on My Work, My Pride, we'll be discussing 10 good reasons why you can choose the teaching profession. But before I go into it, let's go on a short musical break. Do not go anywhere. And when you're coming back, do come back with your jotter, because you're going to learn a whole lot on the reasons why you should choose teaching as your profession. Don't go anywhere.
Ìwọ náà fẹ́ ṣe big boy, fàájà ń ṣe fọ́lẹ̀ o. Wákì o, ọ̀rẹ́ mi tẹpá mọ́ṣẹ́ o. Wákì o, fàájà kò tún fíjọ́ ọ̀gọ́dẹ́ o. Wákì o, ọ̀rẹ́ mi múra sí iṣẹ́ o. Wákì o, fàájà kò tún fíjọ́ ọ̀gọ́dẹ́ o.
If you're just tuning in, your live on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of the West, Nigeria, and you're listening to My Work, My Pride. We've been talking about teaching as a profession. We talked about how teaching is a noble service, how teaching is a ministry, how you have to, make a lot of sacrifices to your students to ensure that you are a good teacher, how you have to impact a lot of knowledge in your students, how you have to do it effortlessly without, thinking about the rewards that are attached to it anyway. Now we're going to go right into the 10 reasons for you to choose teaching as a profession. Number 1, you'll be making a difference. By choosing the teaching profession, you will get job satisfaction like no other. If you ask most teachers why they decided to teach, they usually mention that they wanted to be able to make a real difference in students' life. I mean, if you are the type of person that is super heavy on making a difference and making an impact, if you're a person of value that want to ensure that you leave a mark, a positive mark in individuals' life, then you should consider teaching as a profession, because that way you are able to get a satisfaction with your job. You're able to make a difference in people's life. Also, if you work as a teacher, you'll be able to see the visible progress in your students' abilities, and it is guaranteed to send you home with a smile on your face and a real sense of pride. If you've ever thought, or if you're in the line of the teaching profession, you'd be able to relate with what I have just said. All right, you have a group of students that you teach per day, and then you are very sure, you are very, very certain that your students are making progress. The growth is evident, the growth is visible. That alone sends you a lot of smile, that puts a wide smile on your face, because you are not just doing it for the fun of it, you are actually making a difference. There's this pride that comes with knowing fully well that your students are doing amazingly well. For some reasons, teachers take their students as their children. sometimes, because somebody you get to lecture every day, somebody you get to teach, I mean, you'll be very, very heavy on knowing that particular person's progress. Like I said, there's a lot of pride that comes with knowing that your student is doing amazingly well. And remember, they need your help to get where they want to be in life. I say this often, without teachers, I mean, this world, I don't know what's going to happen, because we need to learn every day. And also remember, they need your support. These students, they need your support to get to wherever they want to get to in life. So you'll be very, very important. They will never tell a story and not include your name in that story, because you have made a difference in their life. Number 2, no 2 days are the same. We're still on the reasons why you should choose the teaching profession. No 2 days are the same. Teachers really mean it when they say this. No 2 days are the same. If you dread the monotony of working in an office and crave variety in your day-to-day life, then teaching is right for you. You know, when you're a teacher, every day will provide you with a different set of challenges that you need to counter, and it keeps on getting interesting. That's the fun part of it. When you are quite aware that, okay, I'm going to my workplace tomorrow, and then there's a different challenge, and you are sure of yourself that you'll be able to counter that challenge. It makes it super interesting, really interesting. It will fill you with a lot of excitement, and you will be eager to get back into your classroom each day, because you know that every day is not the same. What you worked on yesterday is quite different from what you're going to work on today. That alone makes you really excited. Number 3, you will have a job for life. Now you want to ask me why. You know, unlike some jobs that can be replaced by technology, teaching definitely cannot be replaced. You know, the traditional way of teaching will forever be clamored, like it will forever be seen as important. Although there may be language teaching apps out there, but the honest truth is the majority of students still prefers a teacher they can actually talk to. Let me tell you, nothing beats having to talk to somebody one-on-one. I understand that technology has evolved. Everybody now wants to, you know, go into technology to make things quite easier, but I put it to you that a lot of students out there, majority of students, they prefer to talk to a teacher one-on-one. So definitely you're going to have a job for life, and a super secure one at that. They say that education is recession proof, and if anything has taught us that, it is the coronavirus pandemic. So you are in safe hands. If you choose teaching as a profession, you will be in high demand all over the world for the rest of your life. I am not even bluffing. You are going to be a hot cake. As long as you know that you are a professional in the field that you have chosen, the teaching field, you're going to be a hot cake for the rest of your life. The next one, you can work all over the world. I mean, you don't have to be confined in one country alone. Being a professional is actually a huge flex, a very huge flex at that. And if you are a qualified teacher, you'll be able to work pretty much anywhere in the world, either in the classroom or via your laptop. Whether it's teaching basic English or specialist education in English, anything at all, you'll be able to work and explore at the same time. I like to believe that we're still talking about the reasons you should choose teaching as a profession. And we've talked about the fact that teaching will make you, make a difference in people's life. That way, people do not get to forget you at all, because one way or the other, you have left a positive mark in their life. We also talked about the fact that when you choose the teaching profession, no 2 days will be the same in your life, because there's always a challenge each day for you to counter. We also talked about the fact that it will make you, employed for life. To make you employed for life, because teaching cannot just be swayed to the side. As much as technology has evolved, a lot of students still prefers to talk to their teacher one-on-one, because that better explains, what they really do not understand. Right now, we're on number 4. The reason you should choose the teaching profession is because you can be creative. I'm sure you attest to that fact. While you might have a whole curriculum to follow, you have a curriculum outline you're working with in a school, you still have the freedom within this to decide exactly how you would like to pass the information across to your students. I mean, you are the teacher. No matter what the curriculum is, it still has to do with you. It deals with you, exactly how you want to pass the information to your students. So you can really make it your own and get creative with that. Having fun is encouraged. It basically gives you the room to explore and leverage more on your creativity. Also, you get to meet a lot of people. Choosing teaching as a profession will give you the opportunity to work in a super sociable atmosphere. Not only will you work as a part of the close-knit team with your colleagues, you also interact with students and parents every single day. And on top of that, as a teacher, you also have the ability to become an important part of your local community.
You are live. On Osun Radio. Osun Radio. Community radio at its best. 104.5 FM.
This is OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Oshogbo, Voice of the West, Nigeria. It's time to bring you news across the country.
From the nooks and crannies of this nation, OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening, welcome to the news across the country. I am Temitope Olajiwola. Osun Assembly to pass bills that will attract investors. IGP advocates peaceful protest. OSBC Entertainment News X-rays significance of waka music genre. Helicopter crashes in Lagos. Speaker, Osun State House of Assembly, Honorable Adewale Egbedu, has assured the state stakeholders that the Assembly is ready to cooperate with other arms of government to ensure the actualization of the developmental agenda of Governor Ademola Adeleke. This was contained in his goodwill message at the ongoing strategic retreat organized for new political office holders of the state by the Osun State government. Honorable Egbedu emphasized that the 8th Assembly is already laying a solid foundation for the actualization of the set agenda of the present administration, noting that laws that will ease governance and make the state attractive to investors are already being worked on. He further stated that these laws are coming in through bills like the Osun State Local Government Bill, Local Content Bill, the Osun State Community Social Responsibility Bill, Osun Illegal Mining Prohibition Bill, Osun State Disability Protection Bill, among others. The 5-point action plan of Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke will no doubt impact positively on the people of the state if stakeholders and policy drivers are coordinated and committed to the implementation. The Permanent Secretary, Parastatal's Monitoring Office of the Governor, Mr. Olushola Bolaji, said this at a meeting with the General Manager of the State Water Corporation, Engineer Jokotola, and the management team. Engineer Jokotola thanked Governor Adeleke for his intervention in critical structural maintenance of the corporation's facilities. The Permanent Secretary, Parastatal's Monitoring, commended the management members of the Water Corporation for their robust sense of responsibility to duty and promised to work closely with them in the discharge of the statutory duties services. The appointment of Elder Peter Babalola as the chairman of the Governing Council of the Osun State College of Education in Ilorin has been described as a round peg in a round hole. Receiving Elder Babalola and his entourage in his palace on his way to assume duty, the Onwofila Oba Wahab Oyedotun Bibire I praised Senator Ademola Adeleke for the appointment and for developing interest on matters affecting Ilorin. Welcoming him, the institution provost, Professor Afolabi Atonda, pledged the cooperation of all stakeholders on the campus for maximum support that will promote effective and efficient transformation of the institution under the new chairman. Responding, the new governing council chairman explained that the administration of Senator Ademola Adeleke is not interested in witch hunting, but warned that any act of infraction henceforth would be greatly resisted. He stressed that there is an urgent need to improve upon students' enrollment for the benefit of all the stakeholders of the Citadel of Learning. Elder Babalola was thereafter conducted round the institution for on-the-spot assessments with a view to having first-hand information. People have been advised to support and cooperate with President Bola Tinubu in his desire to reshape the country's economy for the betterment of all. A lecturer at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Dr. Tunji Ogunyemi, gave the advice while speaking with OSBC News.
You don't judge a current leader by the failure of the previous leader, especially if that leader was not part of the government of the previous one. So the truth of the matter is that, yes, in the last 8 years or thereabout, we actually did not have governance. What we had was rulership, and the president did not do much good to the Nigerian economy at all. But that does not remove the fact that this is our country. We are Nigerians, and we are 100% Nigerians. We have an abounding duty to rally around a government that is promising, a government that we hope will work for us.
Speaking on the need for Nigeria to fix its moribund refineries as a permanent solution to subsidy payments, Dr. Ogunyemi said what the federal government intends to achieve through the president's broadcast is short to medium-term macroeconomic intervention. The House of Representatives has commended President Bola Tinubu for the announcement of palliatives to alleviating the adverse economic effects of removal of fuel subsidy. The spokesperson of the House, Honorable Akinrotimi, said that Green Chamber empathized with Nigerians who have been distressed due to the gap between the period of fuel subsidy removal and the implementation of palliative measures. He expressed optimism that the policies and initiatives announced by the executive would bring succor to the people. Honorable Rotimi recalled that on 13th of last month, the House of Representatives approved the request of President Tinubu for the amendment of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act to extract 500 billion naira from the budget for palliatives to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. The spokesperson said that the integrated interventions would stimulate economic productivity, boost agricultural production, create jobs, and improve living conditions. He noted that the House also welcomed the planned upward review of the national minimum wage, saying it will be considered and approved once transmitted to the National Assembly by the Presidency. The Borno State government has launched a substantial food and non-food palliative distribution